Hi guys, Ray here from City Fan TV. Hope you're all doing very well. Champions of England, eh? Never get bored of saying that. Never get bored of the four-time Premier League winners on the bounce. 4 in a row. Never forget that. Anyway, guys, some big news today. It was reported earlier today that Ederson might be leaving the club. It's like huge news. I mean, I don't know where that's come from, but here's where it's come from. So it's come from Fabrizio Romano, earlier in the day. Just read what he says. He said, exclusive, Ederson could leave Man City in the summer transfer window in case of a good proposal. It's a possibility. There's already interest from Saudi Pro League clubs, with Ederson considering possibilities at the end of the season. It will be up to the player. Now, there's a few things to unpick here. Okay, a few things to unpick. One, is it really going to be up to the player? I'll answer that. Should Ederson go? Could Ederson go? And how close is Stephan Ortega to taking Ederson's spot in the first team? So let's look at some of those. I mean, why would Ederson want to leave? I mean, Ederson's been here for 7 seasons. He's won 6 Premier League titles in those 7 seasons. He's won a Champions League title. He's won, off the top of my head, 2 FA Cups. 4 League Cups? Can't remember. UEFA Super Cup, Club World Cup. He's practically won it all. Everything that matters. He's, domestically and in Europe, he's done it at City. He's done it all. And internationally, obviously, with that Club World Cup. So why would he leave? I mean, there's many reasons you can think of. And each time you think you're clutching at straws here. But who knows? You might put them all together and you might put forward a compelling reason for him to move on. One, he's been here 7 years. He's 30 years old, be 31 in the summer. Maybe he wants a new challenge. It's a possibility. You can't overlook that, But he's started, was it 33 games this season in the league? He started plenty. Obviously, he's not the cup keeper, but he started, from my reckoning, 33 games in the Premier League, 7, I think, in the Champions League. So he's had a good season. He's had 43 games, but he's still the current number 1 at City. So you could, as I said, you could look at it and say he wants a new challenge. He wants shed load more money. He's at that age. Oh, look, goalkeepers can keep playing into the late 30s at a high level, and he's still at a high level, top class quality goalkeeper. So he may look at it. He might have 2 moves in him to make big money. And right now, Saudi money is red hot. It's red hot, and maybe you look at it as a chance to secure your future. Now, look. He's a multi-millionaire. I have no idea what he earns at City. I'd be surprised if it's less than 150 grand a week. He's a multi-millionaire. Okay. So I don't think he's going to have a problem for money going forwards. He's set for life. Okay. But an opportunity to go to Saudi, which may not come again. If you remember the Chinese, when China was starting buying players and paying silly money, that didn't last too long. I mean, players didn't seem to enjoy it over there, but it didn't last too long, and those deals are gone. And maybe in 2 or 3 years' time, those deals will never be here in Saudi again. Maybe in 2 seasons. So, players may be looking at it and say, maybe we'd set the money. Maybe we'd take it now. Now, as I said, I have no idea what Ederson's on. Okay, but let's say 150 grand a week sounds reasonable. That's about 7.5, 8 million a year. After tax, agents' fees, and blah blah blah. He'll be left with, I suggest, less than £4 million a year. I mean, tough life, eh? But in his pocket, he's getting, let's say, 4 million. He's going to have some endorsements and stuff, glove deals and boot deals or whatever, tattoo deals. But he's going to get he'll get in between, I reckon, between £4-5 million a year in his pocket. It's not too bad. He's not doing too bad for himself. But Saudi could come along and say, I tell you what, mate, we'll give you, something ridiculous. We'll give you £500,000 a week. And it's tax-free. Come over for 3 years, it's tax-free. We'll give you £500,000 a week. That's let's say 25 million a year. for 3 years, that's 75 million. Compare it to what he'd be getting playing for City, 12 million. 75 against 12 doesn't compare. He'll probably be speaking to people like Aymeric Laporte, who's out there, Riyad Mahrez, who's on, can't remember what Riyad Mahrez was on. I think we said there are about 15 million good reasons why Riyad Mahrez left City, or 20 million. And I think Aymeric Laporte will be on a fair whack in Saudi as well. The numbers don't really matter to know what those guys are on. But Ederson, if he went, he'd be on a significant amount of money. I wouldn't see it less than 200 or 300 grand a week. Even 200 grand a week, you might say, well, that's not much more than he's getting now. But it is, because that's 30 million pounds over 3 years. No tax. That's huge. Compare that with the 12 million he'd get at City over the next 3 years after tax. It's a huge difference. 18 million pounds. And as I said earlier, he's got enough money. He's minted. He's got enough money for the future. But, this just doubles down on that. It gives him, maybe it'll give him an opportunity to make huge, huge money over there and set his generations up for life. Not just him, his kids, but his grandkids and his great-grandkids, the Ederson dynasty. Because, as I said, if you're walking off with 18 million quid in 3 years or something, maybe more. Maybe you stay longer. It's just going to be a crazy amount of money. And it's hard not to be influenced by that. So it could, as I said, it could want a new challenge. Could be looking at the money. And also we've seen some cracks. We've seen some cracks appear this season. Obviously, when he got subbed, was it against the Spurs? When he got belted in the face, it broke his little fracture in his eye socket. He was not best pleased. I think he gave Pep some. He was not happy about being pulled off. But obviously, he's missed the last game of the season. He wouldn't have featured in the FA Cup anyway. But he was injured. So, 4 times this season he's been injured. And Stephan Ortega has come on and not let us down. So, maybe he had a beef with Pep. I can't see Ederson wanting to move on just because he's had a beef with Pep for getting pulled off in a game. So to me, it would be something that you have to put a lot more thought about. It can't be a knee-jerk reaction, but maybe he's had a beef with Pep. Maybe he's feeling the pressure of Stephan Ortega behind him, because Stephan Ortega is a damn good keeper. He's number 2 at City, but most of the clubs he'd be number 1. He is that good. And every time he's come off the bench, he hasn't let us down. Now, they're of a similar age. I think he's about 9 months older than Ederson. He's 31 already. I think Ederson's 31 in August and Ortega Moreno's birthday is in November. So whatever, September, yeah, about 3 months. So he's about, I think if I'm right, 9 months older than Ederson. So it doesn't make a difference, okay? They're of a similar age. But he's putting in good performances. He's been here for 2 seasons. He played 9 times in the league this season. He's come obviously off the bench a few times. I think it was 4, I said. He's our cup keeper, played a few times in Europe as well. He's put up some reasonable numbers, I reckon, this season. He's played 19 times this season compared to 14 last season. He'll have another game in the FA Cup final. But that's not enough games for a keeper of his undoubted quality, undoubted ability. And it's tough. It's tough to be a number 2 when you're at City. He'd be a comfortable number 1 at City anyway. You'd be happy with having him as number 1. So there is obviously pressure from Stephan Ortega Moreno. And that might be on Ederson's mind. I think we've seen it. I think Stephan Ortega Moreno is probably a better shot stopper. Ederson's just feels he's calmer and cooler and in more control on the ball. I think Ortega's distribution is reasonable. He hasn't got the distance of the kick that Ederson has, but who else can have? I mean, Ederson, I think he's got the world record for the longest drop kick or something on a football pitch. So yeah, Ederson's got that a little bit above Stephan Ortega Moreno, I think, in that he can obviously kick it a lot further. And keep it accurate. But I don't think that's the be all and end all. You know, you've got to keep changing, evolving. You know, we're not playing the same style we were playing 5 years ago. Pep's evolved and changed and moved on. And, you know, it's nice to have that really long kick from Ederson, but we've seen with Stephan Ortega Moreno, you don't need it. As long as you can stop shots, he looks like a decent one-on-one, which Ederson wasn't. And as long as your distribution is pretty decent at the shorter range, that's mostly what we're looking for. So, yeah, I think Ortega Moreno is knocking on the door as well. So there's, as I said, a lot of things that add up. You know, the fact that Ortega Moreno is knocking on the door, the fact that Ederson had a bit of a banner with Pep, the fact that he can earn a lot more money, someone like Saudi, he might, as I said, want a new challenge. You know, you've won it all. Else, where's the challenge? And as Pep said it himself, it's hard to keep yourself motivated, and maybe that's what he's looking at. I don't think being at City is harming him for for his challenge for the #1 spot on the Brazilian national team. So yeah, there are some reasons why he might want to move on. Obviously, there's plenty of reasons to stay because you're still young enough, you're still earning good money, you're still winning big trophies, you're still challenging for all the big stuff, or all the, let's say, meaningful stuff. You know, Premier League, Champions League, Club World Cup, going to side it ain't going to be like that. But as I said, you offer somebody 20 million quid a year, could be. I've not seen any numbers, but you offer someone that sort of money, as I said. 20, you can do the numbers again. 20 million is 60 million over 3 years, compared to 12 million if he stays in England, roughly. So it's a huge, whatever he's paid in England, it's going to be dwarfed by what he could be paid in Saudi, and not having to pay tax. That just doubles it overnight. So it's going to be very, very interesting. I'll have a chat with Bernard later to see what his thoughts are. But it's going to be very, very interesting, especially it's come out now. I mean, could Ederson have played his last game for City? Could his last game have been against the Spuds? I'll wait and see, guys. Wait and see. But, hey, guys, let me know. Tell me in the comments section below what you think possibly could be the reason for Ederson wanting to move on. Is it, as I said, Stephan Moreno, Ortega Moreno's breathing down his neck? Might be #1 next season. Who knows? You know, he's not let, as I said, he's not let us down when he's played for us. So it will be interesting, but let me know, as I said. Give us your comments as to what you think might happen. Guys, if you're new to the channel, it would be fantastic if you could subscribe. If you can hit that bell icon, you'll be notified as soon as new videos come out. We'll see you around, Blues.